Hello, everybody. This is season 2, episode 6 of Business Spotlight. And today I'm joined by yet another brilliant entrepreneur. So please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ivan de Penor. I am an entrepreneur, I would say. I'm the founder of Reidar.co.za. We are an agri trading platform in South Africa.
Amazing. Okay. So tell us how you got started out in entrepreneurship.
Okay. I think I always had a love for business, but in like grade 8 or grade 9, which was 2021, 2022, just after COVID, I fell in love with 3D printing. I saw a lot of videos online, and I made a deal with my father that if I got above a certain mark for that grade, that he would then help me buy a 3D printer. And he did. I got that mark, and yeah, I got my first kind of budget intro into 3D printing and started kind of like, an Instagram account and tried selling some stuff. And I did end up selling some stuff. But yeah, that was kind of my intro to entrepreneurship.
With what you do now, like just tell us how you actually like started doing what you do now.
Okay, yeah. So I think kind of through the year of 2024, I would say, I really started thinking in the kind of direction of doing business as my career. And at that point, I was grade 11, and I saw all these problems my father was having in his company, and my mother in the same company as well. The agri trading industry. It's just full of communication chaos and misalignment and fragmentation. And there's a lot of fancy words for it, but it's just chaos at the end of the day. And so I really love organizing things. I think people who know me very well would call me an organizer. And I also like technology and the use of AI, which I am kind of invested in, I would say. And I just decided to start a business and kind of solve the problem. And it turned into Radar. And I think about a year and 2 months ago, the moment I turned 18 almost, I registered a company, as that was the age I was allowed to do so. And yeah, and that's how Radar was formalized.
Wow, that's really amazing. And what has it been like over the past year? Like, what would you say is the most memorable thing about your journey so far?
Um, I think there's lots of memorable things. There are things that were hard, and I enjoyed solving them in the end, and there were things that were positive. But if I had to pick one moment, it would probably be my first pitching competition, which was about 2 months ago. I pitched at Cape
Congratulations.
AgriTech Connect. Thank you. I pitched there, and yeah, the thing that I remember the most of that is just all the support I had from friends and family, people helping me go through my pitch and supporting me. So yeah, that was just a great moment to see how the community around me just supported me as an entrepreneur.
It's amazing. That's really amazing. So you got started out quite early. Like 18 is really young compared to like when most people start actual companies. So what would you say to someone who's probably the same age as you and they're like thinking this is the direction I want to go? How do they get started out?
Yeah, if I'm speaking to a younger me, I would say when I was kind of still thinking about my future and what I wanted to do, I always kind of leaned in the direction of doing a degree, because that's just kind of what the average person around me did or was trying to do. And that was quite still my plan. And then when my marks were going good for the degree I wanted to do, and then at the end of the year, the final exam, mathematics, my mark fell so badly, unexpectedly, and I ended up not getting in for that degree. But in my mind, for that whole year in matric, I was thinking about maybe not doing a degree and maybe just taking a year off to try this business thing. And then in the end, it kind of just ended up forcing itself upon me. But I, in a way, would say I don't regret it. So speaking to younger me, I would say you don't always have to follow the traditional path. I heard this great quote from another speaker online somewhere that his quote was, if he was talking to younger people, he would say, there is no supposed to. You're not supposed to do anything. All around the world, in all the different countries and cultures, there are hundreds and thousands of different supposed tos. And not one of them is correct, definitely. So you're not supposed to study. You're not supposed to drop out of school and do business. You can do whatever you decide to do, as long as you're confident in your decision and confident in your ability to show up and work towards it. So, yeah.
It's amazing. You mentioned the quote thing. Are you perhaps like a reader?
I do read, although my peers always tell me it's not the type of books they'll read. I read business books and one could say self-improvement books, but yeah, mostly business books. I do read a lot online, though. I don't like watching short-form content that much. You get sucked in so easily. There are a few short-form content creators on business, but I like reading on Substack, a lot of business articles there. So yeah, I read a lot.
Okay, awesome. So why don't you just throw out that people could read on entrepreneurship and how they could make their business better?
Yeah, I have quite a few. The one thing I would definitely recommend is there's this weekly email newsletter. It's written by the team called Open Letter. It's found mostly on LinkedIn. You can go sign up there. But yeah, there's an amazing team behind it. Reidar, Kriel, Jason, a lot of other people in the team. But they write daily newsletters on business in South Africa, which I really enjoy the insights. There's so much Substack reads. I'll say there's one called Young Money, which is quite good. Very good writer there behind that article on Substack. The books, in terms of, paper books, I would say one of my favorites is I love the book 0 to 1 by the PayPal founder. Oh, not PayPal founder. He was a co-founder of PayPal. Quite good book, that as well. Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you so much for that recommendations. I probably will also go and read those because obviously this is a platform where people are learning about entrepreneurship, but this is for me as well to learn about entrepreneurship. So I'm always open to hear what other people have to recommend. So you spoke about having your first business pitch. Obviously you had support. And I want you to talk about how important it is to have people that have the same values as you go through this journey of entrepreneurship.
No, I think it's very important. You always have family and friends that look out for you. But in terms of the same values, especially leading towards kind of entrepreneurial values, kind of a more your more tolerant of risk approach type of thing. It's important to get into communities that focus on entrepreneurship. I'm part of a community called Founder Collab. There's about 150 founders on there. Each week we have office hours on WhatsApp where we just chat about business, and we also have weekly masterclasses on business topics. And also now and again some in-person events. And I think it's one of the best places of support where people understand the business space, obviously because they're running startups as well. But just having that common knowledge on the struggles at the early stages is very important, because friends and family understand their need and their will to support you, but sometimes they don't understand the specific problems you're facing, and it's hard to support you in that way. So having that like-minded community is very important. as well as the more personal support you get from friends and family.
About the thing that you said about supposed to. You
Mm.
are an entrepreneur and you are in school. Most people say that entrepreneurs are not supposed to go to school. You're just supposed to like start. So speak about that. Why did you decide to actually go to school? Like as in university?
Well, I'm not in university now. I'm just doing business full time, but I
Okay.
do agree that we should talk about doing entrepreneurship in tandem with other things, because I think always there's this push to you should either go all in or just leave it completely. And I think with entrepreneurship that's not the case.
Mhm.
There's always that initial stage of just experimenting with an idea a bit and seeing if it could work. Obviously, you cannot jump in blindly and just assume people want to pay for something. You need to do some market validation. And whether
Yeah.
you are doing a full time job or doing study full time or even doing high school full time. I mean, I started doing it in high school where I was obviously studying and doing other extracurriculars full time. I just started working on Radar, in the evenings and when I had some free time. And I think without that foundation of about doing that for a year, Radar would not be the idea and the reality that it is today. So I think it's important to start doing it during the other phases of your life and not just jumping straight into it.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for putting it perfectly. That's a perfect explanation of yeah, of that. So, oh, I actually thought you were in, I don't know. Okay, my research did not do me justice. I actually thought you were studying. I don't know. Okay, so let's because I usually ask people questions, but I also love to give people the floor to
Mm.
like say things that I may not have thought of asking. So I think we've actually gotten to that point where if there's something that's on your heart, something on your mind that you think someone would benefit from, then you can just share it with us.
I think let's think. I think the one thing that I would want to say is when I was in high school last year, I always saw people who have a passion deciding to go and study that passion. For example, engineering, or if you want to be a medical doctor, then you go study medicine, and that's great for me. That's following through with your passion. But then there's the other group of people I know, and these people are people who don't necessarily have an academic passion, but they feel obliged. And as we said just before this, they feel they're supposed to go and study. And I think that's a mistake. I think one should really consider what you want to do while you're on this earth. If that's some sort of academic profession, then you need to go and study, obviously, and that's great. And I support that fully. But if you're really unsure in your heart that you want, unsure of being that academic type of person or following that academic career, then I would consider just really go and sit and think about that decision, because you have the academic career and then you have the career that's more inclined towards creating something on your own. And I think it's important, if you have that feeling that you don't want to go into the academic space and you have the need to create something on your own, that you need to execute on that. I think that's very important, because I mean, everything around you and around me and around everybody watching this is literally, it's made by people who set out and wanted to create that thing. I mean, the devices we are talking on right now, the homes we stay in, literally everything was created by people's initiatives. And so I think really considering what your path needs to be is very important. Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So, what should we be expecting from Radar in the next
Ooh.
coming? Yeah.
I ask myself that on a daily basis. No, I think Radar has a very exciting journey ahead of it, especially in the coming 3 months. Um, Radar was accepted into a cohort of an accelerator and an incubator program called the Terra Foundry, and
Wow.
so the next 12 weeks are literally loaded with masterclasses, workshops, and some site visits and some mentorships programs. So I myself as a founder and Radar as well is going to undergo some heavy coaching and some heavy guidance, which is great, and I think that's going to be very fruitful. If we're successful at the pitch night that's happening at the end of this cohort in 12 weeks, then Radar will be going on to a extended accelerator program where we will be pitching at the Africa Arena Grand Summit in Cape Town in November, which is also very exciting. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities. Yeah.
Amazing. That's really amazing. So, yeah, so thank you so much for sharing about yourself and about your business. We really appreciate you taking your time to like really just teach us about entrepreneurship. So, I'm not sure if there's anything that you would like to add, but I think we can end it off here.
I think I just want to say thank you to you as well. It's a really great initiative that you have here, just sharing entrepreneur stories on your platform that you are creating. And once again, I think you also felt the need to create something and put something into this world. And the fact that you're following through with that is just amazing to me. So yeah, well done to you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You have no idea how much I needed to hear that. But so I think we'll just end it off here. Thank you guys for
Awesome.
joining us today. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.